Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. My name is Joel Duggan and this is the Citadel server. It's coming up on 6 years old. This build is coming up on 2.5 years old. And I'm getting excited about getting to the end of this, but I'm also feeling like I'm so far away from the end of this. Every time I turn around, there seems to be something else to do. So it goes back to a podcast episode on the Spawn Chunks with Pixel Riffs, where we were talking about long time projects and the, I guess we'll say, discipline. You know, when you're not sure how it's going and you're like feeling like you're lagging behind and all that kind of stuff. Skeletons aside. How did you see me coming? You weren't even looking. You just have to push through. Like you have to find a way to just keep going and get closer and closer to that goal. So yesterday we were working on this place here. Got the roof on this part. There was already a roof, but it was very, very ugly, and I'm quite happy with the change. I think I'm debating whether we should extend the roof and connect it all here. I'm wondering if that would be a nice addition. I'm also not super keen on that being a pig pen anymore. I think I might, I don't know, I feel like it could be better to have something else going on there. I don't know. We'll see. So there are some decoration things that have to happen out along here. I think the first thing I need to do is take a look at this guardhouse and see what we can do to maybe make some permanent block choices about it. I feel like we could probably keep it mostly the way that it is. I'd like to do something different with the bottom. We've done a lot of stuff with smooth stone. I'd like to try that. Dark Minecraft player, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. So yeah, I guess we'll start with that. Let's grab some other things. I know we still have that tower to deal with, but I've got nothing. I was frustrated with it yesterday, so I don't know exactly how we're going to proceed with the west tower of this build at the moment. We'll grab those. Some of those. This just goes all the way down. I wonder if we could change that inside tower advantage. The never-ending work of detailing. Yeah, exactly. 1.20 is in 3 days. So that's the one thing I should make clear. We're not in any way racing to get anything finished. I will probably just take a short break. I believe so. 1.20 comes on Wednesday, but that doesn't mean the Citadel is going to be updating to 1.20 on Wednesday. We have got a lot of quality of life mods that have to be updated, and we have to wait for them to be working smoothly. It'll be at least a week. So we won't be updating to 1.20 until mid-June. But I think this week I'll take a break from building in Westhill, and I'll probably do a bit of work in terms of like gathering netherite and maybe getting some extra bamboo farm happening and just stuff like that that will probably help us when we get to 1.20. I want to see if we can change the shape of this a little bit. Just wondering if this would look good inside. We can remove this outside. I think I like that. I think that looks pretty good. We have a door. I think I might want to change this actually. I'm wondering if this whole thing might look better if it was stone. Or maybe just regular stone. Instead of stone bricks. I feel like that's a little bit too fancy. Let's go back to this. It does lose something when you take away that bottom part. Just wondering what other blocks we could put down there. Is there such a thing as being finished detailing? Well, I walk away from stuff. I basically have to walk away from certain things. We've done that before, but I don't remember how we handled the next level up. Oh, cobblestone. That makes more sense. You know, that could work. M-Dog, good to see you. Hope you're having a good day. Maybe we can mix in a little bit here and there. No, maybe not. Wonder if this would be a good spot to try to use some deep slate. Oh, I never thought about the smoker. Smoker would be cool to try too. The smoker is being used right there, so I want to be careful that I don't overdo it. But this could look cool too. I think I like that. I think I like the addition of a different color in through here. And we can maybe break this up a little bit. Well, that doesn't really go, does it? I've got an idea. I can use some basalt, probably. I am the Glob. Thanks for the follow. Basalt. Preparing for 1.20, you don't even have the 1.18 blocks. Yeah, I have that issue as well. Now we can change a little bit about this. Maybe we'll keep these. It does feel a little bit bright. I don't know whether cobble and deep slate are going to go well together on this small of a scale. I guess it's not bad. No. I think if we do this, this whole front has to be solid. Maybe this is where we use the regular bricks. Kind of going back and forth on how much and how little detail I want in this. Oh, that's going to be a problem. And then along here, we'd also separate this out a little bit. That would mean this would most likely be deep slate. What I would like to do here is maybe push this out a little bit, just to kind of cut the corners down on it so it's not quite so in your face. And then here, add a little bit more to it. This could be too much for the scale, but I want to give it a go anyway. You went through the trouble of catching some allays, M-Dog? I've not dealt with allays at all. Only like wrangling a few for like screenshots and stuff. It feels a little bit strange. Maybe we have to do... Yeah, I think maybe we have to cut this whole part off. I'll just do the same thing, just higher. On this level here. I would like to be able to jump off of scaffolding. Please and thank you, Mojang. Yeah, so we can sort of fudge that space. Not there though. Go up. Cheese Cat, hello, welcome in. And I guess we can do this one. Big Hero, hello, welcome in. Surprised you still use scaffolding after the rant. It's the fastest way to travel up on short distances. I don't mind it on builds this size. This is about my limit. This is about my limit. I think for speed though, especially when streaming, doing something like this to get up that high is just, it's too good. It's when I have to start going left and right and I have to do something where I'm hovering over 40 blocks of height. That's where I'm just like, I get very fed up with it. All right, this is all gonna get changed around, I think. That could probably be a beam. And we could probably do spruce in here. And then maybe we can do slabs in between there. I need a little bit of light so I can see what I'm doing. Yeah. That was stone, so that should probably be roof, I guess. Yeah, okay. So then we just have to figure out what's happening there, and that's probably going to be spruce, would be my guess. Just to kind of match up with the other buildings. I generally don't like seams like that. It's not the end of the world, but we could do that. That actually works pretty well. Oh, that connects funny there. I am Rocket. Welcome in as well. Thanks for saying hi. Big Hero, I will be doing interiors. The way that I do interiors, because it's such an inventory hog, I wait and I kind of run around and do interiors all at the same time. So when we do the interiors for different places, we'll do it like all at once. That doesn't work there. That's not bad, although I wonder if I could make this a little bit better by putting the andesite out here on the corners, maybe? I do want to try to frame the door. That's pretty good. I feel like the deep slate's just a little bit too dark. Tin Mirren 404 subscribing at tier 1, 7 months. Thanks ever so much. Very much appreciate the support. You know, I think because this is shiny, it doesn't fit, whereas this is matte and it fits a bit better. Those don't read as too shiny. Although, if we did polished stairs in deep slate, that could work. Could also try tile. Or the brick. And I run out of space. That kind of adds a nice shadow. That is a little bit too high contrast with the cobbles texture. Same thing. So I think we'll go actually with the polished deep slate. So yeah, today I think it's more about walking around here and making final block choices without getting into like texture details as much. I mean, I'm kind of texturing the walls here as I go because it's such a small thing. But here, I feel like we could add a brick or two in here. I think that works. Yeah. All right, so then maybe what we'll do with the floor is just mimic what we've got going on out front. And this is going to be covered up by whatever bed and tables in here. This is mainly just for a guard or two to be able to sleep and then have easy access to the towers should they be needed. I could have sworn I had a door in here, but maybe I didn't. I'd like to try and change these out to match the other ones in Keep as well. Plus it separates it from bricks here. Cool. I think that's looking pretty good. I'm still not crazy about this. Maybe it'll just be like a barrel or a crate or something. Kind of with the idea of stuff. I like sometimes just rough out, you know, stuff piled around. Folks that have been hitting the sub, thanks very much. Make sure you've got your Discord and your Twitch connected so that you can join us in the Joel Duggan Discord. And for folks that are new, a Prime sub will get you an invite to the Discord as well. And you can also just join via Patreon, which is cheaper than Twitch. And I see a higher percentage of the revenue from Patreon. Patreon and the processing only takes a total of 10%. So for every $1 of support on Patreon, I see 90 cents US, which is extremely helpful. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I think that looks pretty good. I might change my tune on the deep slate, but I think it goes well enough. We could also do a little bit of, like maybe by adding cobble into the wall, we may be able to sort of help the cobble deep slate feel like it's more at home. Right, just age the wall a little bit. So I'm trying to remember that I have not yet really done a full texture pass on this wall. But I think that's pretty good. Yeah, I think that helps a little bit. I might put this here instead. Also, I'm not sure what I was thinking with this little door thing. I think I've done those other places, but I think I might want to change this a little bit. I think I prefer the taller. And then in here, we could use andesite again. Or I could flip that around. Oh, right, the corners. Yeah, there's no way to really do that smoothly. It's fine. There's definitely some exercises in letting go when you want to do a couple different things, but like Minecraft only lets you do it one of two ways, and you really want to do it a third way, but you know that there's just, that's not how the block spaces work, you know? I feel like those walls should be stone brick walls. And even though we've done andesite above those doors, I kind of feel like this might look better with just regular andesite. I guess it doesn't really matter. Looks like the floor was messed up over here. Probably just missed a spot. We're gonna have to do a lighting pass on this place too, so it's not a death trap. I don't think that needs to have a door. I imagine it probably would. So here's another place where I'd want to put some stuff. So I just like to rough in like an idea. Maybe food. Something piled outside. You know, this is where I wish we had like the ability to do barrels of apples or things like that. I'll turn that into something a little bit more interesting later on, but I just kind of want to get the color in there, and you can see how something like that really helps separate the edge of this tower from the back wall. Now that there's another color there, it really helps. I don't know about this window. We've made it smaller, so that has to change in here as well. I just don't know if I want to leave it as one window or if I want to make it two small windows like this. Or even just one small window. How wide is this? 1, 2, 3. Okay. I guess those go up a fair way. I guess that makes sense. I mean, in a real keep or castle, it would be probably like stained glass or something. That's something I might try to do before I do like final walkthroughs of Westhill is design a custom Westhill texture pack with like some stained glass and just some things that might help take it to the next level, you know? All right, so that's the final blocks on that. I feel like those are as good as they're going to get, those top pieces. That's pretty good there. Right, so then it was the roof here that I wanted to work on. Stairs. Slabs. Already had slabs. Cool. So a smaller window might make more sense. Yeah, I guess. It's kind of a big window that doesn't look at a whole lot. I mean, it's Minecraft, so you can't really see out the windows anyway. Also, it might make more sense if I made this a little bit more viewable too. And you'd be able to see the comings and goings. You know, like you'd be able to look out that window and see who's got horses stabled. I mean, if it was two windows, it would just be this. Right? Maybe with something fancy like walls or something. I guess a lot of that depends on what we end up doing with this wall here, but obviously I'm not doing much until I remove my shulkers. All right, so experiments in roofing. I want to double check that this is going to look all right. So we've got the new roof from the kitchen and the kitchen quarters. We've got the stable roof. And then this little spot, which I guess makes sense that it's open. I was just wondering if there's something more interesting we could be doing here. And I don't want to raise the peak of this anymore because I like this. So we're sticking at that height. So really the only thing we could do would be to like push this out. But I don't know if that really makes any sense. It does feel a little bit strange. And I feel like at this point there'd need to be like an extra pillar going up to support it somehow. Which, I mean, that's not the end of the world. If we had it a little bit higher. Because then we could do stuff across here. Reminds me of something I've seen in like Game of Thrones or something. Like the stables at Winterfell. I don't mind it with the support. If it's got the supports going, I feel like it looks okay. Just a bunch of experimenting back and forth with different ways to place stairs so that they work. Almost feels like an outdoor cooking area. The idea is that it's meant to be like a pigsty. Like I would imagine that a place like this with a big kitchen would have pigs to eat all the garbage, right? And eventually provide some food, but like mostly for the garburator side of things. So we'd have to come up with some better ways to angle this. So one thing I always get caught up on is the idea of like making roofs look like water would flow logically. I feel like this would probably have another support back here. Actually, that could help this look a little bit better. If I switch this color, stand out in purpose a little bit. I don't have the right gate anymore. What I think I'm going to do for now is go get oak trapdoor. I find that they tend to look like gates if you put them in the right position. The authentic medieval experience. Pouring rain all the time. It's like every movie you've ever seen about medieval England and just rain. So I guess this would probably look better if it was opened in. Maybe this is going to be the gate. Normally what you'd want to do is have something more like that. But it would make more sense that the gate would hinge on a post, right? It's that or pressure plate maybe. We've also got a lot of dark oak stripped logs around here. I wonder if we could make this feel a little bit more like it's part of the same build by using the same log. A little bit more contrast, which I like. The offset gate leads your eye to the door better? You mean you prefer the gate offset? My logic for that was thinking that the gate would probably be closer to the horse side of things. Like if you're coming out here to feed horses or whatever, this makes more sense. And plus it's just more interesting than having straight shot, right? Yeah, I think we go with the pressure plates. So in a way, we're sort of doing a detail pass, I guess. And I wonder if these would look better as that nice dark oak. Hard to tell it, like thunder shower lighting. But the dark oak and the spruce, I find, looks really good together like that. We just have to make sure we've got a decent amount of kind of coverage on it. So the idea here would be, I guess we'd want to have a place to actually hook up the horses. And that would likely be in this space here. So maybe we have to wait. There's a stable just out here, actually. I guess that's kind of funny that we've got a stable in here, but there's also a stable just outside. Water troughs and hay bales and things like that. The boss's horse needs to be close. Yeah, totally. Yeah, this is like people that live here versus guests, you know? So this would actually more than likely be like the whole water trough thing. And then if I have a hay bale somewhere. I'm getting kind of sucked into the details, but when you've got ideas about how things are going to flow, sometimes it's hard to ignore that, you know? So we could put this kind of like in this space. And I think at that point maybe we'll end up putting these down low. Oh, maybe I have to flip it. Yep. So then we can put that there and that there and this here. Thanks, Sandy. Appreciate the reminder. I also need to put torches around here. How's that? Not bad. Not bad. That, yeah, we just have to maybe like reposition one or two of these. Gets us real close. Seriously? Just at a reach. That's annoying. There's so many spots that are spawn proof around here that having something like that would be like a surefire way to get something like a creeper to spawn right in the middle of here. So we'll address that a little bit later, but it does look pretty good. It doesn't look overlit. You know, I feel like it's a little bit bright. We could maybe try to dim it a little bit. But for folks that are watching for the first time, I take a break once an hour. It is that time to reheat my coffee, maybe even grab a snack. You should too. Grab a snack, grab a friend. We'll be back in 5 or 6 minutes. Aldebar, thank you very much for the raid. Appreciate that. What were you up to in Minecraft today? Welcome in, everyone. If you're new to the stream by happenstance, my name is Joel Duggan, full-time streamer, podcaster, co-host on the Spawn Chunks podcast, builder of Westhill, this 2.5-year-old medieval city that we are currently running around. And we've been working on the Courtyard a little bit. Temporary placeholders for details, final block selections for buildings, holding off on texture, but trying to put in a little bit of extra oomph in places where we're swapping out different block selections for new ones or ones that fit what we're doing. I need to put some stuff away. What were we up to? I was on my Forever World. I'm trying to incorporate some gradients into builds. It's a new skill for me. It's tough. Yeah. A good skill to work on, though. Good skill to have. That actually needs to get shifted. Like so. Oh, that doesn't quite look as good, does it? We might have to change the top of these to be full blocks of spruce. Yeah. I think so anyway. Actually, maybe what we'll do is we'll change them to be spruce strip logs, but we'll just change the grain direction. Yeah. And then I can't remember what these are called, but when you tie a horse up to something, they need something. Not a moor. I can't remember what they're, because moor is on a dock. Can't remember exactly what they're called. So we can't do. I guess that looks okay. Normally what I like to do when I do that is to have a slab or something here so that the wood kind of connects a little bit. But that's just too low and chunky. I guess I could just remove it entirely. EladJenkins, hello, good to see you. Hope everyone had a good time on Aldebar stream. Again, Aldebar, thanks so much for sending people over. And the folks that were already here in my chat, if you're not following Aldebar, please go do so. Halcyon Heights, is it next week, Aldebar? That season 2? Era 2? I can't remember what you guys are calling it. Viral Porpoise. No such thing as being late for my streams. Good to see you. I think I saw you yesterday too, but I didn't get a chance to say hi. Chronicle 2. Chronicle 2. That's what you call it, Aldebar. Right. Starts Tuesday morning around 11. Okay, cool. 11 a.m. my time. So that's UTC minus 3 hours. So in that would be 10 a.m. your time? You're in the US, right, Elderbar? Correct. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm 1 hour ahead of New York in Atlantic. So if we did that and we change this back, I think that gives us more detail. So maybe we'll try that. I like the asymmetry there better anyway. That still looks supported. You know, I think I like that better, and it would alleviate this problem. The things that you get to learn how to do with stairs and slabs when you put your mind to it. I think we're going to switch this back too. It's all about trial and error a lot of the times. All right, I'll leave the torch there for now. I would like to somehow divide these a little bit as if there'd be some sort of railing or fence happening. Maybe that's what has to happen here. Kiwi Soda, that's a cool username. Welcome in. Yeah, maybe we'll do a fence gate and a fence. Or maybe a fence gate and a wall. Twinkle Tuesday, welcome back. Good to see you again. And then we can put a wall here, maybe? No, too bulky. Maybe a fence. I don't know, actually. Maybe we put the wall here. Oh, that doesn't really work, does it? That feels like it's kind of in the way if it goes out that far. Maybe that's all we need. It's kind of wanted a division between the two areas, sort of. And guess that's it for the basics. I don't know about this. I feel like that's a little bit better. put this underneath here. Kind of lines up with all those. Thanks for being awesome, SweetSandi. Appreciate it. I feel like that's got enough detail. That's a full block. What's this? Maybe we can do stairs on this side too. Yeah, that kind of helps a little bit. This side probably would connect funny. Not the end of the world, though. Maybe these go back to being regular. Nope, wrong way. Yeah, that looks pretty structurally sound, I think. I don't know what to do about that corner. We could put the rain bucket back there. That could be a way to get that out of the way, but I kind of like that detail here. Just make the squeaky noise yourself to compensate. That would be an interesting thing to add to Twitch, you know, like to give moderators the ability to play a certain sound effect to like notify the streamer, hey, I've deleted someone's message and done some moderating in chat, and so rather than like a highlighted message or me just kind of glancing over and seeing it in chat, there could be like I think it'd be very funny to have like a dog squeaky toy noise for that. We'll be semi-lurking while I get some lunch sorted out, says Aldebar. Thanks very much. Of course, yes. Make sure you give yourself a nice screen break. SweetSandi would want a cannon. So I would want something that would be disruptive and loud for me. Besides, I think it's more embarrassing to be, you know, essentially beat up by a squeaky toy. Wonder what looks better. Having it drain that way or the other way. Oh, it looked better the other way. So here, normally, you know, I think we could just do that, but I just feel like that's a lot of trapdoors. And it feels like we're doing the wrong thing, like we're putting an edge up. If I covered that up, though, then maybe we don't... Yeah, this doesn't have to be... That doesn't have to be spruce, then. Made a few changes underneath, so this actually works out a lot better. That's a full block. Oh yeah, that has to be spruce. Okay. For the look that I want, that it has to be spruce. That's fine. Like a couple of these is fine. I wonder if we could maybe got 1, 2 there, got 3 here. Maybe we can just bump those around and then have these go this way, and that way. More interesting shape to the top of that. I guess. I'm not sure if that really helps it or not. One of those things that looks better when you're up higher. I think maybe that's better off just flat. I'm hearing all kinds of bird noises in my backyard, none of which I recognize. They're all different sounds. Just try to echo this along the way. That's probably good. And do I still have... Yeah, I've got a little bit of spruce stuff. So I usually like to try and decorate along these where I can. Not sure whether this would look better as dark oak or whether it would be better as spruce. Pixel Riffs coming in with the massive raid. How's it going, everyone? Oh wow, that looks terrible. What a great time to raid. Pix, what were you up to on stream today, my friend? Been a minute. I feel like normally during the week we ended up chatting a little bit via Discord, but I think this week we've just been both busy. Folks, if you are new, then you should go follow Pixel Riffs. If you're hanging out in my stream for the last little bit and you don't know who Pix is, we co-host and co-produce the Spawn Chunks podcast together. New episode comes out tomorrow. We have to record it first, of course. Getting settled on the New Life SMP. Very cool. I saw a lot of people on the New Life SMP posting videos this week, and I didn't realize how much of the Hermitcraft was crossing over. I thought New Life was mostly Empires. But it's many. Fuzzy Fozzie with Prime subs. Thanks very much. I appreciate that. Sandy, thanks for quick tagging the chat into slow mode. Appreciate it. Long Lux, Chromas, Fuzzy Fozzie, Zwelda, thanks for the follows. Appreciate it. Getting New Life crashed? Oh, that's no good. That's no good. We've been working around the courtyard today. Lolo McPhee, hello. And so we started off by making some permanent block selections for this little guardhouse and changing the roof a little bit, changing the gable. We moved around and added some doors and threw some torches around for like basic lighting in terms of where we're going to put some lanterns. This we did yesterday, which is a much different much different design than we had there previously. Previously, it was just an angled roof that was like that. So this is all new. And right now I was just working on putting some decorations in the front, but to kind of give you an idea about how this all is woven together inside, we now have access via the stairs here. It goes up here. You can get into the top, which will eventually have some beds for like servants and stuff. And then out here, that gets you out onto the upper wall where we've decorated with some windows and stuff like that. So we were just working on the stables. No, 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 no. Bad news. I thought I heard footsteps. I was like, where is that coming from? We obviously still have some dark spots lying around. And for inventory's sake, I don't bring a bow with me everywhere I go. Yeah, I think I got him. Okay. Yeah, I guess goes to show why you should eat more often in Minecraft. Do I have anything in there? No. Cool. Thanks for the follows, everyone. Really appreciate it. So yeah, we were working on this like small stable area with like a little pig pen off the kitchen, thinking that a kitchen of this size would more than likely have a pig for garburator purposes. Haven't put in any of the details as of yet with like crates or feeding troughs or anything like that. I added a couple of things here, but I don't want to get caught up in the details because I'd like to do a more full pass of a few changes. One of which we have to address is the tower happening up to the west. Also, I think we decided I couldn't put a staircase in there. So instead the staircase is in here. So this is a weird empty space. So yeah, this tower is, I think, next on the list after we finish the front decoration on the gable on the kitchen. Thank you, Sandy. Appreciate it. Corwin Alexander Gaming. Good to see you. And thanks again for the raid picks, and thanks to everybody that's sticking around. I'm sure you were probably watching picks for a while, getting set up on New Life. Looking forward to hearing about what's happening on New Life tomorrow on Spawn Chunks. Is there something you can't do, stairs? Yeah, it's got something to do with the way that the stairs get you up into that space above. I'll try it one more time, but I think we're kind of stuck. I've been sort of throwing in little bits of texture here and there when I see opportunities that we can change things. Doing stuff like this. Trying to stay consistent through the designs. Like there's been stuff where I've just kind of put in quick thoughts, but now I'm going back and like making sure there's a polished stair over all the doors and trying to make things feel consistent throughout, right? This place doesn't even have a door. But we've not done any textures and any kind of like crates and things. I've just been kind of throwing in quick placeholders. Someone asked earlier if I was going to be doing interiors, and yes, I absolutely will be, but I need to have like a full inventory of like interior design stuff to do that, so I can't bounce around that quickly. So we'll wait and do all the interiors at the same time. So it's just this last little bit here, and I do want to put a lantern up there, I think. So we'll grab a chain and a lantern. It could have been that where there's lots of places where the creeper could have spawned. But yeah, that's a good spot. We'll eventually either have stuff spawn-proofed by blocks or spawn-proofed with lanterns and things. So I think I'm going to use a chain, which will get the lantern down to here. Side of this did not look good that way. I think we'd be better off with dark oak up there. And probably dark oak fence gates. Creeper proof for now, yeah. I think we can probably do gates this way. Looks okay. Kind of wonder if there's more we could do. I like that it almost looks like a circle. That's quite cool, actually. Two ideas. Either trapdoor or another fence gate. That's not what I want. And I don't think I could switch these and have them all connect. That seems kind of boring. Yep, I like the first way better. So we'll do this. And then we'll either use a sign or a trapdoor. Probably a trapdoor. So it's not quite a complete circle, but it's sort of does it. I guess we could try a set of stairs that would actually touch and complete the circle. That could look good. I've not used circles anywhere else, but I mean, it looks pretty cool. I'm not sure if that's now going beyond what I want to do. I mean, I guess I could create a circle up there too, couldn't I? Yeah. I like this too much to give up on it. Yeah, that works quite well. almost want to make that darker. I wonder if I can do that and have it still look good inside. Switch that to dark oak. Make sure I have it first. Yeah. Right, so it'll look a little bit funny in here, I guess. No, that's okay. It's fine. It's better than the oak, that's for sure. It's better than the oak. Kind of wondering whether this would look good if we changed my little spruce bits here to dark oak as well. I think I like that. If we do that, I might have to go up and change everything else on the bottom to dark oak as well. Or maybe spruce. Now I kind of want to change the angle of these because they were facing forward because they were spruce. But I think if we do it this way, we could get away with switching them back. Oh, that's better. I don't mind that combo. This could look better if it was maybe all one color. I guess we'll just try it. Yanni, welcome back. I think you came in with the Gemini Tay raid yesterday, right? Good to see you. Thanks for coming by. So we'd have to do something inside to make that more interesting, but that's something we can probably work out later. I think I prefer having the detail in it, honestly. We'll have to work out different details, but I think I do like having some detail. Good stuff, Yanni. Good stuff. We're doing some final block selections and a little bit of detail work in some of the things we did yesterday. But I think I'm going to go back to... Where did I have this? It was mostly that in the middle. I think this was a crossbeam. Maybe we don't have to go exactly the way that we had it. Maybe just without the second crossbeam. We'll just do the one. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think that's fine. And actually, we could probably get rid of that other trapdoor now that we have circle complete. And make it symmetrical with the way that the top goes, right? Yeah, it does look better with the bottoms being spruce, but I don't know what that's going to do for the inside here. So we've got two considerations. Unfortunately, one of those builds that has the build inside one level, so, or what, the wall's one thick. So I think it'll look better like that. And I guess that just means that in here we'd have to do something similar to this. Either hide it with crates and things, or do something like that. But like, as long as these two are covered, we're good. Doesn't have to be the whole thing. So we could put like a barrel or something there, table. But really, I think the bedside tables and stuff are going to be on this side of the beds, so it should be good. Good old spruce trapdoors, they fix everything. Yep. Solving all the world's problems. I agree, McScrewgunn. Also, hey, how's it going? Yeah. All right, I think that settles that. I don't necessarily want to finish the lighting in here because the lighting is going to come with the detail pass. So I'm going to, I think, rotate to another part of the build. And we're going to dump a bunch of stuff in here and start fresh because boy, is this clogged up. That. I need to go get more cobblestone too. I think I have some down here. I should anyway. Lots. The best command for Westhill is the built this city on spruce trapdoors. So I think one of the things I want to do, we've had pretty decent success changing this guardhouse to be deep slate. It kind of stands out a little bit more here in the courtyard and feels like it might have been an afterthought after the place was built. If I had my way, I would have made the place out of deep slate and then made this out of bricks, but this was built a long time ago and I'm not changing that. I think we would have success with this chimney being changed to deep slate and the various textures within deep slate because we do have cracked, we've got cobble, we've got bricks, and I think that could be interesting. Even if we just do the base of it and keep the top the way that it is, but I think it would help it set itself apart from the things behind it if it was a darker block. We could also put some trapdoors or something on it because I've done that in some places. Where did I do that? So there's a chimney that's got some spruce trapdoors on it. And I thought I've done that. around a big chimney somewhere. Oh, maybe it's the blacksmith. Maybe it's the blacksmith chimney. Don't know if we can see that from up here or not. All right, so that was deep slate actually. So that has some deep slate. Oh yeah, there it is there with the little thing. It looks funny from up here, but from down below it looks good. Yeah, most of them are just like toppers with spruce trapdoors. I don't think I want to do that because the chimney is actually like a 3x3. So it actually has like a little hole in it. But I think that could look good if it was deep slate. The other thing I want to look at is, of course, this ugly thing. And I don't think I like the whole bone block bit anymore. It feels really... Oh, I almost had it. It really stands out and does not feel at all like part of this build. It does not. It's not working for me. I'm even debating whether or not we keep the roof or whether this needs to be another one of these square towers. Or maybe it's a little bit more round or something. But yeah, it's not... It doesn't fit with anything else. The bone block is too light for starters. And yeah, it's just not really working. I don't mind the color of the roof, of course, because it does match other things. But all of the other roofs are like this. And I think that if we created something... Yeah, see, like when you look at it this way, you think like that's part of the keep, that's part of the keep. This feels very keep-like. These two get confused because of how close they are just in space. But then this just feels like a separate build. Like it doesn't feel like it's part of the keep. Like even this south gate feels like it might be part of the same structure. I mean, they're connected, but this is meant to be the south gate. Right? And then the keep starts there. But yeah, that doesn't feel like it's part of the keep. Pandal, it's been 2.5 years since we started this. November of 2020 is, I believe, when we started that build right here. And it's just us, and it's all survival. I only ever build on stream, so if you go to the Joel Duggan VODs YouTube channel, it's all there. Yeah, I think I'm just going to take it down. Need a clean slate. I'm going to leave the top block just so I can have a reference as to how tall it was. Oh, come on. I was in such a good position to take this roof down. Snow Fox, thanks very much for the follow. Appreciate it. Spare me a crumb of your patience. I get bored before I finish the house. It's all about making sure you're doing things you're interested in. Challenging yourself. I mean, it doesn't hurt that I create content for my job and that when you've got a big project, it eliminates a huge question mark in your daily work, which is, what am I going to do next? You know, if you're working on a big project like this, then what are you doing next is the next building, the next plan, the next part of the town. So for the last 2.5 years, I've never had to worry about what I'm doing in Minecraft. I just log in and keep going. So that is at least cool. There's been a couple of spots where I've, you know, I think when 117 came out, I took a break and I did a moss farm. Sorry, 118. When Caves and Cliffs fully came out, I took a break and I did a moss farm. I took a break and did a geode farm and a copper farm. Like, there's a bunch of things we did because we needed things like copper for builds up here. So it made sense to kind of like stop the build, go get some resources, you know, and come back. And it was a nice break to do a redstone project. Oh, I built a flower farm for Cosmic at their Somerville location. So there's stuff like that. But one nice thing about this is that you can get enough builds going on, you know, within the town that you're not just building one thing necessarily for weeks on end. It's more like a bunch of little builds. And if you think about it like a bunch of little builds, it tends to go faster. RX, welcome in. We're obviously still very much in the beginning phases of lighting and doing the interiors, but the exterior is getting there. We still get some gradients and stuff that I want to do. Oh, missed one. I guess I probably should have left the stairs, but whatever. Okay. We'll fly around and collect some of the blocks that have gone flying. Thanks very much, SweetSandi, for being fantastic. Appreciate it. What am I looking for? I guess we need more stuff from upstairs. Probably keep those. We might need those for stairs. We always need trapdoors. We are going to bring some andesite, stone bricks. I think that's all we need. Thanks for the thought, RX. Should be pretty straightforward with Twitch. So much more organized in survival Minecraft than I ever do in any game. Well, you gotta remember, like, it's been a long time. Been a long time. This build has been around for a while, so your infrastructure kind of builds up over time. When I first started, we were in the basement of a farm. So that's where we've got that tower attached. I guess we could try to see what a square tower would look like. Maybe I can just kind of block it in with scaffolding. Guess we'll use... This might be too big. One, two, three, four, five. And here. So I'm going to guess that that's maybe 8. Nope. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Need more scaffolding. This is one thing I do find useful about scaffolding is the ability to kind of quickly mock up the height of something. If you have to take it down, it's very quick to do. That might be too much in competition with the tower next to it. But we'll see. Oh, I've gone taller. Huh. I overestimated how tall that was. That might look okay. It might not be too big. I mean, you can't see them from in here anyway. At the gate. I guess the real question is, will it look a little bit odd sitting that far out over the edge? I wonder if I should bump that in a bit if I decide to go that high. Perfect landing on scaffolding, as always. So tricky. I guess I'll get rid of that. The whole server would be a fun hide and seek map. Oh my gosh. Even just Westhill for hide and seek would be crazy. There's so many secret passages. Like you'd have to do a real good job of sneaking around to hide your nameplates and stuff. I think there needs to be more of a height differential. I'm okay with the size. Like the diameter. I basically just check all the different approaches and see what it feels like. I mean, it's cool that you can see it as you approach from the west. But again, it might be a little bit too tall. Because I still want the other towers to feel more robust, you know? Try the south approach. Now imagine this being gray and stone. And here's an argument for it being thinner too, is that it wouldn't overlap here. You'd see a clear set of, you know, air, you know, a bit of silhouette, which would be nice. It would be barely silhouetted here. So we might try it with 3 instead. ZenThaneX with the Prime sub. 17 months. Thank you ever so much. Very much appreciated. You can definitely see a little bit of it, but if we're going to knock it down a bit, you won't see any of it from the east side. That's fine. We've got the other tower here on the east side. And you'll see a little bit of it. So that is the argument for a 5x5 instead of a 3x3. But even here, like, you can see how close it is in height to everything else. So if that was, I would say, a good 2 blocks lower, it would be nice. One of my favorite things in Minecraft is you can use stuff for things other than their intended use. Oh yeah, no, that's the strength. That's one of the things that I will criticize when Mojang adds a new block and the block only has one function. Like, it really is hard to use it for other things. Whereas when things are a little bit more nondescript, I find them more useful. Usually it's textures. So if that was, see, here's another thing that's nice about scaffolding is that you can measure kind of like where you'd want things to be. So I feel like if we brought that down to at least 2 blocks lower. I think that would help. Slept through the last break. No worries, Sandy. So did I. I'm getting caught up in what I'm doing. So this would be, again, a rough adjustment. See how that makes a huge difference in making this feel like the important tower? It's only 2 blocks, but you know, it's still taller than this, which gives a nice kind of like dynamic, but still tall enough to be seen, but not tall enough to compete. All right, folks, I'm going to take a quick break. I want to try and stay on top of these today. So I'm going to step away, reheat my coffee, maybe even grab a snack. You should too. And if you so choose, maybe let a friend know that we're streaming. Trying to grow the channel as always. And that fits nicely in that little gap there too. So the only thing I might try is a 3x3 instead of a 5x5, but the 5x5 is growing on me. It's just a matter of whether it's going to look too heavy on the side. Anyway, I'll be back in about 5 or 6 minutes. rain continues. I'm all for it in Nova Scotia right now, but in game it can disappear. Although you're right, Kiwi. Nice timing for it to start just as I went on break. And I guess relaxing that you get to listen to it throughout the whole break. Glitch, thanks for the follow. I'm just wondering if we need to bump that in towards the keep a bit. I guess one benefit is that the door inside would be right in the middle if we keep it where it is. Need to find a bed and sleep quickly so we can get some sunshine in here. Jay Geft, I'm not sure. There's definitely going to be some. There's definitely going to be some hanging signs for butcher shops and things and that kind of stuff, I think. We've done some things with armor stands for like leather shops that I think work pretty well, and I don't want to change that by adding a hanging sign. So we're not going to put them everywhere, but I can definitely see them being used. There's also a couple of very high bridges that I might want to use. Well, you know what? That doesn't feel so bad. Well, I guess it looks a little bit different from that side, doesn't it? Maybe we need to get a little bit closer. If we don't have this extra bit out here, then this could be a lot slicker, and that might look a lot nicer. So rather than having the rim around it down the bottom, we could just support it directly under itself. That's still out 2 blocks. Kind of debating if we move it in, enough that we could run this in front of it, maybe. All right, let's move it in by 1 at least. And I'm going to use stone here, just so we can get a good feel for it. Get that in there, and then get rid of these. I'll have to add this on here. Solar, thanks very much for the follow. So we'd have to adjust what that might mean for the inside here, but for now, I think I like the idea of trying to bump this in a little bit. You move it in, you can't make it more narrow to get the air between the keep and the tower. I don't understand what you mean. Why would I want to make it more narrow? Oh, from the south view. This would actually help that problem by creating an overlap rather than a tangent. So this could be good. I'll show you what I mean. This could actually work out for the better. There's enough of an overlap there that it might feel like a different spot. There's still an air gap there. The main concern about moving it in is to make sure it doesn't feel like it's too heavy for its current place. The second tower certainly is making it feel more important and like a robust kind of castle. I think I've made it too narrow in spots. Doesn't really affect it too much out this way, which is good. What I am going to try and do is remove all the stuff underneath it. Rooster Mug, hello, hello. So here we can get rid of all the stuff under it. We'll hopefully make this feel a lot lighter. So we'd really only have to worry about maybe like this part. Maybe not that. Yeah, not sure. Yeah, this window is really going to be the bane of my existence. This is the argument for making this a smaller tower, is that it wouldn't be so wide here. We could still make it 5 by 5, but we could always make it more of a round tower too. Could try that. There it feels like it sits a little bit nicer. Oh, JGF, you're talking about like roofing and trying to make things look like they would be feasible. Yeah, I do the same thing with my builds. I try to make it look like it would be possible. It's not 100% structurally sound. Like this would probably fall over if it was a real life tower, or fall off the edge. We could always just add a solid piece there and it would probably feel a lot better. I guess one thing I could do is I could just take the whole thing right down to the ground. Right? If we wanted to. It would create, I would lose this wall. But we could try that right now quickly. Oh, we would bite into this area though. Yeah, that's not the best. I don't think I want to create a narrow alleyway here. That door is just a temporary thing. So it would create a nice solid line going right down the whole thing. That was all one tower. But then it feels like it could be almost like it would fall over easier, you know? So that wouldn't be here. We would potentially lose this alleyway, which may or may not be a bad thing. Like maybe we just need to embrace the fact that this needs to get bigger. I could also move it forward towards the north. Because like this, I mean, there's a door here, but this could be a dead end. Like this staircase doesn't have to be there. This whole thing, this whole alley is unfinished for this reason, because I knew there was changes that were going to happen along here. I'd even like to have like a little bit more of a thicker wall here, you know, maybe bring it out a little bit at some point, make it look like it's got some supports. Yeah. If I move that forward, I'd lose that window. Whoops, there's a wall there. Would be the end of the world to lose this window. You know, it probably wouldn't. That would mean that the next window would be here. So we could move that whole thing forward. That would free up this space. It would block the view a little bit, but like, yeah, that's interesting. Interesting idea. So what I'm thinking about is taking the tower face and getting it 2 blocks or 1 block forward. That would mess up our little arrangement here with the... It would eliminate that, which would be annoying, which is why I would want to do 2 blocks forward, but 2 blocks would bring it over this, which I don't want to do. Well, wait a minute. If we lost that window, then this would be gone. Still, it would be nice if there was a block gap. Yeah, so 1 block forward, and then we'd have to figure out what to do with the top of this again. That would give us a free and clear on this side, so that this whole pattern would be complete. That's if we want this to go all the way to the ground like that, which I think I might. I think it might really help the place look taller. When in doubt, just place the blocks down. So this would be back here. Of course I'm short. So that would come out there. And that would be like that. So we could still have like a narrow alleyway here if I wanted to do something else with those. Could have like a little overpass or overhang or something. Easy to change things so you have to work it out yourself. Yeah, that's fair. That's one idea. Let's pop inside and see what that looks like. So you can't see it from the other window. It would just be covering this one, but that would be it. And then this would end. That actually has to go there. I don't mind losing the window. So the other thing that I want to try is changing top of this. Wrong way. So before I move the whole thing, let's just try this without the corners. Just to see. I'll do it on one half, and then the other half we'll leave square. So if we did this, we'd have to change the way these are set up. So this would give it a slightly more round look, like that. I may not like the look of a round tower, so this could be a short experiment. It definitely feels less important when we do that. But round is not the bad thing that I thought it would be. And that would mean that we wouldn't have to move it. Getting low on the old rockets. Well, I think it's worth at least giving it a go. See what it looks like in stone. Only 31 centimeters wide in the narrowest alley in the world? That is not big enough for me. Nope. Would not catch me going through that. So this would go back to this. We would have to figure out what would be happening with a door here. Need another bed. Where do we stream the podcast? The podcast is streamed to our Discord live every Monday at 10 o'clock Atlantic. That's UTC minus 3 hours, 2 p.m. in the UK. The only people that can listen live are patrons, patreon.com/thespawnchunks. And we then put it out that day. So we record at 10 a.m. my time, and I publish usually around 5 or 6 o'clock my time. So it's definitely smaller and definitely feels a little bit different as a circular or a angled tower. You can also, depending on where you want to listen to the Spawn Chunks, you can listen on any podcast platform: Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes. We have a YouTube page. There's no video. It's like a title card. It's just audio with a single image. We don't record ourselves on video. I am on the fence about this. No problem, panel. Thanks for asking. Hope you enjoy the show, if you have not listened already. I'm really not sure whether I like the smaller tower or the bigger tower. Guess I'll put in corners over here too. I mean, the good news is that if we decide to keep it where it is, these corners would stay anyway. We would have to put them in anyway. That was counterproductive. Didn't want to use that last rocket doing that, or one of my last rockets. Well, that's not what I wanted to do. That's fine. Let it brew for a day or two? Yeah, I think that's what we're going to have to do. We did that with the other tower as well. I would take stabs at it. See what I would like to do. It's still unfortunately quite close to the main tower in the keep. Feels a little bit funny. I kind of want to do... I mean, we could always have the top be thicker. But yeah, it's not my favorite kind of clash there. You're not going to see much of it from over here either. And there's something about the roundness of it that sort of makes it feel a little bit church-like, which I'm not a big fan of. Doesn't stand out right now, I feel. Yeah. Yeah, it feels like a weird afterthought. Whereas when it's boxy, it feels a little bit sturdier. A little bit more like it's part of the structure. The advantage to having it small is that it feels lighter. I think we'll probably have to return to a full square, but it will be a problem for another day. Cool. I think that is where I'm going to wrap up for today. Don't go anywhere, though. We're going to pass you on to somebody else playing Minecraft because, of course, we received a couple of very lovely raids today, and I'd like to pass that kind gesture along. I'm very happy with the way that the gable here on the kitchen turned out. Happy with the adjustments we made to the stables. And I will say happy with the... I'm happy with the roof anyway. But happy with the little guardhouse. I feel like this deep slate might have to be adjusted. I may not be a huge fan of that. I was finding it was blending in the more that we made it stone and andesite, but we could use some stuff on the side of it here to kind of help separate it from the wall. So there's still options there. We could also just make it all stone brick, give it some cracks and different textures and things that could help too. But that's about all we got done. Really, there wasn't much more to adjust. We really didn't have anything else. We did a little bit on the tower, but again, the tower is something that I'm battling with. So that's par for the course. It's one of the nice things about being on a build this big is that we can always move on to something else that does need attention. So for example, one of the adjustments that we have to make since we've increased the length of the main hall by adding the apps at the end here is these chandeliers and the beam supports need to be adjusted and moved over. And then I either have to move these chandeliers so there's just 4, or I need to add more so there's an absolute ton of them, which I'm not sure which is going to look cooler, but we'll see. So that might be what we tackle next while we're kind of debating what to do with that tower. We're going to pass you all along to Sliced Lime, who is, of course, a Minecraft developer and an all-around good chap. I'm sure you will enjoy your time. Check out the Spawn Chunks tomorrow. That will be at thespawnchunks.com or wherever you listen to your podcasts. You can, of course, also check out the Citadel Cafe. New podcast of the Citadel Cafe just came out today, as a matter of fact, focusing on all the new summer movies coming out in 2023. Myself and Brockett went through the whole list and played a little game we call Pass or Play, which is a quick response as to whether or not we're planning to go see it and why. And so we talked about like 20 or 30 movies, I think. It was pretty fun podcast. So check that out at thecitadelcafe.com. And of course, thanks to everyone that subbed today, that resubbed. Beginning of the month, obviously a lot of people are renewing their subscriptions. Make sure that you connect to the Discord if you got a gift sub or if you just started or grabbed a Prime sub. There should be a link in the chat for that. You can also, of course, check out Patreon, which is the most affordable way to support me and get into the Discord. It is also the best way to support me in terms of the lion's share of the support on Patreon. It comes to the creators. So it's like 90%. So at least for me. So I really appreciate it. Y'all are awesome. I will be back on Tuesday with more Minecraft. This week might be a little bit of a break from the keep. We might be doing some 1.20 prep, doing some netherite digging and other things like that. So stay tuned and we'll see y'all later. Bye for now.